it's not a massive customer base, but it's a very loyal customer base. I mean, we have a 3-year value for our customers of over $2,000 per customer.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
James, can you tell us the story how you become CEO of the company? We talked a little bit before the broadcast. Can you share with us what's the story, how you end up being the CEO of the company?
Sure. So as I mentioned, previous to my current position, I ran a business that was wildly successful in just a few years, grew very fast, and we were able to sell that company. And I started making some angel investments and joined a few boards. And I joined the DAS 3D board. The CEO at the time was a friend of mine, and he looking to use DAS's technology in one of my other companies for an investment. And so it seemed like the right decision to join the board. Unfortunately, the company announced they were going through some difficult times at that first board meeting. And the investors, again, the former CEO and his team had chosen good, supportive investors, decided to put additional capital into the business, but wanted to do a bit of a shuffle on leadership. And so the CEO and I had, at the time, had the discussion that very day. He was happy to focus on product and go-to-market strategy and to hand me the reins as CEO. So in my very first board meeting, I went from being a board director to the CEO of the company about a decade and a half ago.
That's fun. Wow, and about decade, that's the other thing. You still around after 10 years in tech. This is hard, difficult. In this industry, if you survive 10 years, it's like you survive 100 years. So any secrets how to survive? Any how to survive in a tech space for more than 5 years, for more than 10 years?
Yeah.
Do you trash can? Do you trash can maybe? Do still the dirty work? What is it?
Right.
What's the secret?
So Harry, you have to know when to pivot, right? So even though I've been with this company over a decade, it was very much a direct-to-consumer business. And we took all of the assets and the technology around that direct-to-consumer business, and that's where we formed our enterprise strategy, our B2B strategy. And as you mentioned in the opener, that's where we gained relationships and clients like Meta and Epic. And so being willing to make that pivot's important. I mean, think about just a few years ago, all the noise around Web3, right? And NFTs and crypto. And boy, we loved that in a very short period of time.
And the metaverse. Don't forget the metaverse, that we use a lot of 3D assets, right?
100% right. Yeah. And so, we built this huge business around Web3, 8-figure business very, very quickly. But as quickly as it came, it left. And so our next pivot was into AI. And each time as we develop the technology and we repurpose our assets, we've been able to take advantage of emerging tech opportunities, which is why now, we've pivoted from Web3 enterprise engagements to AI level engagements and are thriving now in the AI space.
So, James, let me think if I see so the 3D assets that you develop, right? That we're doing direct to consumer, then you design an enterprise solution. But how do you speak with Meta? How do you speak with these giants if you're a small startup? They're not gonna believe you. They're not gonna trust you. They don't even want to speak with you. So how to be B2B, develop this B2B strategy when speak with these big boys is really a challenge.
It is, and it takes a lot of work. And again, fortunately for us and for our company, I have some really business development talent that know how to have those conversations. But what we did and where we were able to sort of break into these relationships is, again, we look to solve a problem, a need. And so when you think about our business being an AI-centric company, that's not because we have an AI foundation model or a training model. What we decided to do is, again, do the dirty work, sort of the blue collar of AI, the picks and shovels of AI. We provide data assets around all of this 3D content we've developed over years. We provide training assets that then train the models that companies like Meta and Roblox are building. So instead of like out there trying to promote our own AI content, creative digital solution, we support every digital solution that's out there by doing
Oh,
the
wow.
hard work and data training to make those AI models more effective.
Oh, wow. That's spectacular. And so, James, the 3D models that you developed direct to consumer, what were you doing? You were you selling the models to the consumer? Like,
That's exactly right. Two prosumers as well. So our 3D assets were being used in professional environments. As an example, you've probably heard of Lil Michaela, who is a digital influencer. She's totally built on our platform, as an example. And
oh,
that's what
wow.
Gaz did. Also, the individual developers, right? If you wanted to build an animation or a mobile app, or you just wanted to make beautiful 3D art renders, that's what our direct to consumer business was consisted of or consists of. And then, we partner with hundreds, maybe thousands of the best 3D artists in the world. And so they create that
Wow.
digital content, those 3D assets, and then they
Using your
come to our
softwares.
marketplace. Yeah.
Ah,
And
so
so
they
they
come to
sell it.
the
Yeah, exactly. And then
so
get their assets and they make a rev share.
yeah, but then but James, this very competitive space. I'm aware there are so big giants then like TurboSquid and a lot of bigs with a lot of funding that sell 3D assets. So how can you compete with these big giants?
So TurboSquid, I've known the folks at TurboSquid. Actually, TurboSquid was founded the same year
Really?
Daz was founded. So yeah,
Really?
so of course TurboSquid is part of Shutterstock, which is a much larger business enterprise than we are. But TurboSquid is their 3D piece, as you referenced, and we're big like TurboSquid. So we were founded this year and grew at the same time. So in the
Wow,
3D
very
digital
impressive.
content avatar character space, we're one of, if not the largest provider of 3D digital content.
Wow. And how do you manage to compete? Because you need a
It's
lot of
just you
money.
build.
A
Yeah,
lot. How expensive was to acquire that to acquire the creator? Because now the creator, that's the other thing. The creator, he have one asset. Now he want to sell it in your platform. He want to sell it in TurboSquid. He want to sell it everywhere. So how you made the creator lawyers to you, or and actually how much it costs to acquire that creator? You say, okay, I share revenue with the creator. Yeah, but to acquire the creator, it costs money. And as we are aware, the direct to
yep.
consumer customer acquisition is a very expensive exercise. Sometimes you need a lot of money. So
Yeah. So
go for, tell
yeah,
us
how do we acquire the creators and how do we compete? It
how you
is
compete with this
absolutely.
big giant like
Yeah.
TurboSquid. I get it that you guys started at the same time, but this is was bought by shares and stocks.
Yeah,
Clearly,
yeah. So we take approach. So one thing that I think is important in acquiring these relationships, and by the way, if you take a 5-year period, we have a 95% creator retention. So they stick around with us. And the
wow,
reason they do that is because we build their personal brands. We spend a lot of time and a lot of effort making their brand successful. And then, like I said, we rev share with them. So their compensation with us is variable and it's based on our collective performance. And we have some of our creators, many hundreds of our do this full time. Even though they're not our full-time employees, this is their full-time job. And many of them literally make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year selling content through our
Really?
business. And so,
Really?
yeah, I mean,
Yes, but which
when you
software
think
they
of
were
our
using? They were using whatever
it's
software they
DAS.
want, or
No,
they were
no,
using the DAS.
they proprietary software, DAS
Ah,
Studio.
wow. They use your own
Yeah, and
software.
we just
Wow.
released a couple of weeks ago the latest version of DAS Studio. And so
Really?
they use DAS
So you're still
Studio, the
around?
content. What was that?
So James, but the that model is still around? Do you still have the website with the creator development stuff and sell it? Or because I thought that now,
Absolutely.
okay. So the web you have another arm now, which is you provide data also to AI solution models because you guys have a lot of data, but still your original business model is out there. Okay, bottom line, you're still competing with TurboSquid. Oh God, that sounds
Yeah,
exhausted.
you know
Sounds very
that
tight.
business. Yeah, it still does lots of profitable revenue. So
Oh
yeah,
my
we
God!
continue to
Wow,
partner with those artists and can invest in our
wow.
direct to consumer business. And then on the enterprise business, like you said, we not only sell AI training data, we provide integrated avatar and character creation systems, and also content for their communities. So if you think of creator communities around gaming, so think of Unreal and Epic.
Mm.
We're providing content and technology for those as well.
Wow. James, it seems that I don't think that you have time to get bored, right? It's a very, I mean, okay, for the tech founders, James, right? That now, again, direct to consumer is a very expensive exercise, right? And not even now that you start with this company, you get involved, like you said, over 10, 11 years. Is that correct?
Actually, a little longer, almost a decade and a half. Yeah, almost 15.
Wow, wow, 15 years. Huh. So 15 years ago, it was expensive to develop software because it was no AI. Software developers are expensive. And then create the community of creators that actually come and use your software is also expensive. There are 3D Max softwares. There are all those software, AutoCAD, you name it, a lot of software that do 3D things. There are big giants. There are powerful companies that if someone is starting out like you, they can get rid of you so quickly because they have a lot of budget and things like this. So how you thrive in an environment where everything is expensive? I develop the software is expensive. Acquiring the client is expensive. Nobody knows you. You're new in towns. Like TurboSquid, okay, was starting out the same thing. Not the same thing. I don't know. Correct me. I don't know that TurboSquid have their own software. I think the TurboSquid only
They don't.
sells the assets.
Correct.
Yeah, you guys
That's
have it.
correct.
Well, you guys also make it more complicated, more because you have to develop your own software. You have to set the asset. So how you thrive in an environment that everything is expensive? 15 years ago, very expensive, and to make the first sales, you have to put a lot of capital, right? Into into the equation. Uh, so how you thrive in that environment?
So it's a great question. I'm going to go back to something I said earlier. You have to find your niche. You have to find something that solves a problem that either other companies haven't identified, or they don't see it as the opportunity that you see it. You brought up the example that most of our competitors that sell 3D content in other marketplaces don't have a software solution. They don't have a technology stack. And to your point, that does complicate in some ways, does complicate and make things more expensive. On the other hand, giving your customers the full solution for the need we were addressing and for the niche we were solving for was really key. I mean, if you think of customers today, it's not a massive customer base, but it's a very loyal customer base. I mean, we have a 3-year value for our customers of over
Oh,
$2,000 per customer.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.